Hey, welcome back to the challenge. Today we're going to talk about the connective network of tissue in the body. So sometimes in yoga there's this idea taught of Indra's web, or the interconnectedness of everything around us. Is it in quantum physics where they talk about the butterfly effect? How like a butterfly flaps its wings and it creates a little bit of wind, and then that little wind creates a tsunami or a change in a weather pattern somewhere else. So there's this vast connectedness that we can't really see what our little decisions or little actions in life have an effect on this whole web of interconnectedness. So that's in daily life. But then in our body, we actually have a whole connected network of tissues called the fascia. The fascia encases the muscles. It's an aqueous-like network. It's like 98% water. And so what you do in one part of your body has an effect on another. And that's why the first concept that we worked with was elongation, because how you elongate in the spine and your CNS, your central nervous system, affects what's happening in the periphery. And what happens with the periphery affects what's happening in the spine. So that's something to trip on. So today we're going to try this standing balancing pose that is kind of like the pinnacle. I would say it's the most challenging of the balancing standing poses, I think, and we're going to try to work on that one today. Throw it at you kind of a little earlier in the challenge at the very end, just so you can have an idea of something that we're working up towards. Let's begin today's practice in child's pose. So just take a moment here to empty before you begin. Let everything start to calm down and settle. Just start to become patient, start to cultivate patience. Let the mud start to settle. And then come up onto your hands and your knees. Open up the hands into the mat and stretch back into your first downward facing dog. Then take your hands, depending on the width of your mat, I like to take them a little off the mat because I'm on this like narrower mat. So I'm taking the hands like pretty wide, and then I've turned the hands out slightly. Turn your hands out so that the space between your thumb and your index finger points forward. Then roll the shoulders forward over the wrist. Keep the chest open. Set the knees down with the collarbones broad. Shift forward and lower slowly to elbow height-ish. Come back up and stretch back into downward dog. Again, inhale. Knees down, lower slowly. Come back up, back to down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Back up, stretch back. 2 more times. If you want to try the last one with the legs up, that's fine, but lead with the chest, and then hold at the bottom, lift back up, and stretch back into down dog. Then walk your hands back to your feet. Little bend the knees, fold forward at the back of your mat. Roll yourself up to stand. Open up your chest, stand tall, spread the arms out, rotate externally and reach up. Bend the knees as you spread your arms out to the side, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Then walk out one handprint at a time into plank. Open your chest, knees down or legs straight, lower slowly. Come back up and stretch back into dog. Walk your hands back one handprint at a time. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Spread your arms, rotate externally, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Walk your hands out. Hold in the plank, chest open. Hold there or lower slowly. Come back up. Stretch back into down dog. And walk your hands back to your feet. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms up. Exhale the arms to your side. Walk up to the top of your mat. Step your left foot back about 3 feet. Bring your hands to your prayer and lower your back knee so it's just about an inch above the floor. Take your arms forward, arms like they have the band across them. Then as you draw your navel and raise your arms up. Then press into your right heel, stand up, release your arms at your side. Lower your back knee slowly. Arms forward, feel the right outer hip engage. Raise your arms all the way. Press to your right heel, stand and release your arms. One more time. Lower your back knee, pause. Arms up all the way. Stand up. Arms down at your side. Change legs. Bring your hands to prayer, lower your back knee. Turn your hips straight ahead. Make sure that your left knee isn't twisted in at all. Go right into the center of your left heel and open the sole of the left foot. Arms forward. Raise your arms slowly. Rotate the outer shoulders. Stand, release your arms at your side. Arms forward as you lower the knee. Plug the left thigh into the socket. Draw your navel up your spine as you raise your arm. Stand and release your arms at your side. One more time. Slowly lower. Press the center of the left heel. Navel up the spine as you raise the arms. Stand, release your arms at your side. Then step your back leg forward. Stand tall up over your ankles. And step the left leg back. Lower the knee down. Raise your arm up. Stand, arm to your side. Right leg back. Lower your knee down. Take your arm up. Stand, arm at your side. Left leg back. Stand. Change sides. And back up. Sit back into chair pose. Shift the weight into the right heel. Step back into warrior one. Bring your hands to prayer. Step forward into chair pose. Shift the weight into the left heel and step back into warrior one. Bring hands to prayer. Step forward into chair pose. Stand. Then with your left hand, take a hold of your right wrist and reach up and over to the side. Open up through your right side body like gills. Breathe the side ribs open. Come back up, change sides. Come back up, then fold forward. Inhale to a flat back. Plant the hands, step back into plank. Open your chest. Lower slowly into chaturanga, knees down or legs straight. Come back up. Stretch back into downward dog. Raise your right leg up from the inner thigh. Exhale the knee to your right armpit. Inhale it back. Exhale the left armpit. Inhale it up. Knee to chest. Step your foot up by your thumb. Lower your back knee down. Inhale, raise your arms up. Then bring your right hand to your right hip. Keep reaching from your navel up the front of your spine. Turn your rib cage and hook your left elbow to your knee. Then join your palms together. Press the index finger knuckles as you spread your collarbones. Then curl your back toes under and lift your back knee up. Hands back down to the mat. Step back into plank. Optional chaturanga push-up, or just hold in your plank. Stretch back into downward dog. Raise your left leg up. Exhale the knee to the left armpit. Inhale back up. Exhale right armpit. Inhale back up. Exhale to your chest. Step your foot and lower your back knee. Inhale your arms up. Then left hand onto your hip. Grow the navel up the front of the spine. Turn your rib cage and hook the elbow to the knee. Join the palms together. Open up through the collarbones as the index finger knuckles spread. Then lift your back knee up. Bring your hands down and step into plank. Optional chaturanga push-up. Glide back into dog. Walk your feet forward. Take your feet outer hips distance apart. Strike down through the center heel and open the soles of the feet. Then start to lower your buttocks towards your heels without the inner arches collapsing. So if you look down and you see your feet sinking inward, I want you to press out through the knees more and lift the inner ankles and arches. Even if you can't sit as low, that's okay. Then fold forward. Take your feet hip socket distance apart. Hook your big toes and inhale, reach your heart forward. Now without locking the shins back, keep the shins balanced right over the ankles and start to fold forward. Draw the hips right up over the heels. Open up those big toe mounds and let the center of the heel bones release down. Then release the big toes And slide your hands all the way underneath your feet. Even if you have to bend your knees a little bit, that's okay. Release your hands out from underneath your feet. Roll yourself up to stand. And then bring your knuckles together behind your back and open up your shoulders and your chest. Step your left foot back about 3.5 feet. Exhale, start to lengthen out over your right leg. Pause there halfway. Then with the navel releasing to the spine, lengthen all the way out over your leg. Press to your feet and come back up. Turn to face the other leg and lengthen out. Pause halfway. And then navel into the spine, go all the way out over your leg. Come back up, turn around to face the right leg, right hand on your hip, raise your left arm, then reach and put your hand down onto the outside of your foot. Today let's go to the tall block because I want to focus on this whole thing we were talking about at the beginning. Okay, so first, start to decompress the spine. Find the sense of elongation. And the more that you do that, the more you'll feel that your right inner foot becomes light. So as you elongate the spine, can you tack down the right big toe mound? Reach into the center heel. And then feel how the right outer hip can come in and help you to lengthen even more and start to turn your chest. Soften your belly. If the belly hardens, it tugs into the lower back and prevents the lumbar spine from freeing up. Good, then reach to your feet and come back up. You can take the block with you and change sides. So first, start to decompress your spine. Then tack down the left ball of the big toe. Feel the center of the heel release into the floor. Feel the outer hip plug in. And then start to soften your navel up towards your left shoulder. Then reach to your feet, come back up. Step up to the top of your mat. Okay, now our peak pose today, we're gonna try Utthita Hasta. So reach down through the center of your left heel. Bring your right knee up, and then hook your big toe. Okay, so to get your big toe, like I'm sure you could like swing your leg and stretch your leg, but are you able to first elongate your spine? So grow tall through your left leg and your spine. So now we've already put a bunch of pull on the fabric. Just to stand up tall, it might be a big stretch. Then see if you can open the knee to the side. So this is a lot of stretch. Then see if you can start to straighten your right leg any amount. Now I'd rather you have the leg just like halfway straight and be standing tall than to jam your leg straight and be all hunched over. Because it's more important what's happening with the spine and the standing leg. If you can do both, that's cool too. You can also train your body to open up like this by like putting your heel onto like a table or something. Bring your leg to center, stand tall. Release your leg And change sides. Press to the center of your right heel. Take your left big toe. Grow tall up over your right ankle. Open the left leg to the side. And then start to straighten any amount as the belly softens back into the spine. Come back to center. And release. Good, stand in mountain. How'd it go? So if you could at least get your spine upright and have the knee bent, that's a huge step. Big place in your practice, big achievement in your practice just to be able to do that. Give yourself a round of applause. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot up by your right thumb. Reach your heart forward, plant your left hand flat and twist, right arm up. Then turn onto the outside edge of your back foot. Outside edge of your front foot, roll your left shoulder open. Hold here, working on the mountain pose line spine. Mountain spine pose line. Line, you know what I mean. Or step your right leg back and open up into side plank. Then rotate the top arm externally and reach it up and over. Stretch back into plank. Downward facing dog. Step your left foot up by your left thumb. Plant your right hand flat and twist. Then turn onto the outside edge of your right foot. Open up your chest again. Hold here, or step your left leg back. Then rotate your top arm externally and reach it over. And slowly come into plank. Stretch back into dog. Step your right foot up by your right thumb. Left knee down. Hold there, or reach back with your right hand for your foot or your ankle. Release your foot. Bring your hips back over top of your knee and wiggle your front foot forward. Point down through the toes, plantar flex, and elongate. You can use blocks or come up onto fingertips. Then dorsiflex your foot, pull the toes back towards you. And change sides. Release your foot and bring your hips back over top of your knee. Slide your front foot forward. Then dorsiflex your foot, pull the toes back towards you. Release that. And let's bring our friend the foam roller back into the picture, because you spent 20 bucks on this thing, we might as well get some use out of it. So take the foam roller, or whatever you have in place of the foam roller, and put it in your upper back, and as you inhale, roll your chest over. Exhale, curl back up. Inhale, roll over. Exhale, back up. One more time. Inhale, roll over. And hold this last one, or as long as it feels okay on your neck, you could take your arms overhead, turn the hands like handstand arms. And then come back up. Then come onto your hands and your knees. Turn the hands around to get a little stretch for your forearms and your wrists, so the thumbs point out to the side, and open up the hands. Then start to sit back in between your heels for a virasana. Remember, you can always put something underneath your buttock to help to support, especially if you have a funky knee situation. Hold there, walk the hands a foot behind you. Open up the hands, lift the inner shoulder bones. Roll the inner shoulders towards the outer shoulders. And then maybe start to lift your hips up, as long as you can continue the rotation of the shoulder. Lower your butt back down. Come onto your belly. Bend the knees and reach back with your hands for your feet. Let the pelvis settle. And then start to roll your heart forward as you stretch your legs. Stretch your legs back. Place your hands next to your side ribs. And roll up into upward facing dog. Roll back down onto your belly. Press up onto your hands and your knees. Stretch back into child's pose. And then have a seat on your block, legs stretched out in front of you. Balance right up over your sit bones. Get the pelvis upright, lower back in, even if you have to keep the knees bent a little. Bring the right heel towards you, and then work on sitting up very tall up over your pelvis again. Wrap your left arm around your leg. Put your right hand behind you. Twist. Then don't just let the left foot go dead. Open up the leg through the reach of the foot. Open up the toes. So this is another thing that I look for in a practitioner before they're able to start an inversion practice. If they aren't able to keep the foot in the base leg, like a Tadasana leg or a Dandasana leg, then that shows that they don't have control over the nervous system yet in order to create space and elongation when upside down. If you can't do it with your leg in this position, no way you're going to be able to do it upside down. Change sides. Then come back to center. Take your legs wide apart for Upavista Konasana. Then bring your right heel into Janu Sirsasana position. For the side bend variation, turn to face your right knee. Sit tall. Then slide your left hand along your left inner leg. Reach your right arm up and over. Bend your right elbow and slide your forearm behind your head. Inhale back up. Change sides. Inhale back up. Take both legs wide and then start to fold forward any amount. Come back up. Take Baddha Konasana. Hook the inner knees, bring the soles of the feet together. And as you press through the outer edge of the foot, turn the foot open like a book so the inner groins can stretch towards the inner knees. But then draw energy up from the pelvic floor straight up to the crown. Release that. Cross your legs at the shins or take double pigeon and start to fold forward. I like a block for this one. You could rest your head on a block. So whatever you're going through, whatever experience you go through daily, we store that in the body. It might not be there in your conscious, might be deep in the subconscious, but whatever you go through for sure gets stored in at a cellular level. So one of the reasons why you feel so much lighter and free at the end of your yoga practice is because we're moving the body and we're processing all that stuff, whether it comes to the forefront or not. So one of the things once in a while that I'll do in hip openers is bring to attention any like resentment or any trouble that I'm having forgiving somebody, and see if I can let go of that. So whatever you're fighting, whoever you're fighting, practice letting go of some of that. And just feel what happens in your body. Is there a softening, a spreading? Come back up. Change the cross of your legs. And start to go forward. Then come back up, crossing knee over knee, sit tall, spread the arms out to the side, and slide your right hand behind your back from under, left arm from above. Change sides. Release that. Stretch the legs out and stretch forward. Keep the soles of the feet open as you go out over your legs. Feet like they're up against a wall. Lie down onto your back for final spinal twist. Open the arms out to the side. Cross your right ankle over your left knee and let your legs fall over to the left. Come back to center. Change the cross of the legs and let the legs fall over to the right. Come back to center. And stretch out for Shavasana, corpse pose. Bend your knees and roll to your right side. Press yourself up to seated. Namaste. So I just want you to feel empowered today to take a look at your decisions and realize how powerful your decisions are. Just the decision made to do this challenge has had an effect on the people around you, the people at your workplace. So you have that idea of Endra's web. Each little decision you make, impactful. So it's all in the small. Like one of the things I love about Gandhi is he said, if you want to make a big change, got to start small. And sometimes we think like, oh, I got to do all these big things if I want to start to affect and positivity. All just starts from your little decisions. Okay, I'll get off my high horse now. Have a great day.